promise is a promise. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at Barcelona's group individually in the Champions League. We'll dissect this group and I'll tell you everything that I know about Spurs, PSV and Inter and how Barcelona should approach these matches to beat them, and obviously trying to get the whole 18 points out of 18. First things first, if you want to know what I think about all of the other groups, then I recommend you to watch my Champions League group stage draw reaction if you haven't already. There we talk about every single group from group A to group H, every single team, and I try to predict all the two teams I think are going to progress to the next stages. So if you want to know what I think about that, then check it out right now in the description down below, as well as in the info card in the top right corner. But now let's get right into our first enemy or first opposition, which is going to be Tottenham Hotspur. Last season, Tottenham Hotspur went out in the round of 16 against Juventus. Juventus, a side which, to be honest, I was kind of rooting for Spurs. I thought that Juventus wasn't as strong as a competitor last season. However, they proved everybody wrong, and in just 2 minutes, or 5 in fact, Juventus completely turned the tides of this matchup and beat Spurs and sent them home packing. I gotta say that this Spurs side, I think, still need a little bit more experience in this competition. We saw how after already more than 3 years with Mauricio Pochettino, their first time in the Champions League, they went out in the group stages in a group that was kind of relatively easy. They were paired up against Monaco and Bayer Leverkusen, the two main competitors, and they still went out in that one. Now their next stage, like I said last time around, they went out against Juventus, and in this time they will try and improve that margin by trying and beat Barcelona, Inter and PSV to that first spot. From a Barcelona standpoint, I think that certainly we must be able to play very intelligent football against Spurs. Spurs is a team which are very direct. They don't have such a kind of like immense game plan like somebody like a Pep Guardiola has at Manchester City or Thomas Tuchel has in PSG. They're much more of a basic football team. They just like to play with the ball, has possession whether they can, take their chances, whether it be from a set piece or whether it be from just open play. They're a team which are going to try their best to try and nick us the ball and never gonna really defend as hard as used to. Pochettino is never a manager who's gonna sit down, relax like a Manchester United with Mourinho. They're not gonna try and defend here at the Camp Nou like Antonio Conte did last season. He's gonna go in and try to play us the game, because to be honest, that's the best way they can deal with a team like ours, because this team of Barcelona is as solid as I think this Spurs team is. Ernesto Valverde has really improved that. In Barcelona, we're no longer susceptible to really stupid counterattacks, and we are most probable going to find that this match against Spurs is going to be very even. I would agree mostly that we should try and put on a 4-4-2 against the Spurs side. Like I said, this is going to be a battle of stability. It's going to be a battle to see which team makes the first mistake, which team is the first to hunt the other down to try and get the goal no matter what. And if we are Barcelona and we can manage to pressure them very high, and Spurs doesn't have basically breathing space to move the ball around to try and find that space, I feel that that's where Barcelona can really hurt them. So I would agree that we should try and play wide players in this one. I say that we should start with Coutinho and Dembele, specifically in this game against Spurs. I feel that this is going to be our best way to try and break them down. Someone like a Rakitic is going to be highly influential, and if we see Arthur just gaining speed rapidly into this side, he can be incredibly also influential in this game. So we have to be very keen on these players, because I think our midfielders is whether the game is going to be found here at Spurs. We see how easily Spurs could turn down Manchester United that other game, where they won 3-0 at Old Trafford. Spurs are a team which do not close against the biggest opposition in European football. They went in and beat Real Madrid. If they can go that and prove against one of the other biggest European teams, which is Real Madrid, then they cannot also shy away to Barcelona. So we have to be very careful. This Spurs side are gonna hunt us. They're gonna hunt us down. They're gonna be very tactical, very organized. And we must also do the same if we want to beat Pochettino and his master game plans that we all know he has. And next up we have PSV Eindhoven. We may say at first glance this is an easy team, the most accessible in the group, but It really isn't. It really isn't. They're currently managed under Mark van Bommel. We all know, an experienced player at AC Milan, at Bayern Munich, at Barcelona for one season. He was even here. So this is a guy who knows about us. This is a guy who knows exactly how to play football. And to be honest, he has had a very good start to the Eredivisie this season. To be honest with you, they have a very good start. PSV currently are first with 9 points at the moment of recording this video, with 8 goals in favor. So that's a very good thing for them. We see that El Chucky Lozano is a very influential player for them as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he would be the lone striker or even the one of the forwards along Steven Bergwijn up top. I feel that this is a team which are gonna hurt us in the counter-attack. We must be very careful. I wouldn't be surprised that Valverde decides to go in a team like Roma, but obviously not like Roma, with the same players in a 4-3-3 instead of a 4-4-2. I think that Nelson Semedo needs to be a little more open up to try and mark El Chucky Lozano. The Mexican is such a hard player to mark. We've seen it in the World Cup, how 1 minute he's trying to score a goal in the opposition net, and then he's trying to self a goal from the line in his own box. This guy doesn't get tired, so we need to have somebody watching out for him, and I think Nelson Semedo could match his agility and pace with his own, so I think that we should try and put Nelson Semedo in. And you notice that I'm here not putting Luis Suarez, because I think that Luis Suarez wouldn't necessarily be very influential in a game like this. PSV are gonna play it very fast, and Suarez right now is not a guy for that. So I think that probably a false 9 for this one could be very crucial and important. Obviously it's very early to tell, but this PSV side we shouldn't underestimate. We shouldn't really underestimate, because the moment we underestimate teams, that's when we are going home and Roma goes to the semi-final. So we have to be very careful. Don't ever say we shouldn't respect other teams. We should respect every single other foe the same way they respect us. So we must treat PSV with the respect they deserve. And finally, we have this Inter side from Spalletti. And to be honest to you, this is the side which I do not know exactly how they're gonna turn up for the group stages. We take a look at Inter, and I see a team which have good players. They have Sime Vrsaljko, they brought in Keita Balde, they brought in Stefan de Vrij, they brought in who else did they brought in? They brought Lautaro Martinez, they brought in Raja Nainggolan. They have a good squad. They have a very good squad. They have improved a lot in the last 2 seasons. However, the thing is that Spalletti's a very it's not pragmatic. That's not the word. He's a very mixed manager. He decides to put different stuff depending on the opposition. He's a manager who changes on the match. So I cannot really tell you guys exactly how I think this Inter side is going to play. In comparison to Spurs and PSV, I feel that this team doesn't know exactly what they're playing at currently, because their squad is such different squad from what it was last season. So I don't even know if a 4-2-3-1 is what they're going to play. But I think that is probably the best way to assemble a good squad for them. I also gotta say that this Inter side currently, as the moment of recording this video, hasn't got a single win in Serie A, which is very worrying. They, if I'm not wrong, draw against Torino and lost against Sassuolo, so it doesn't look good for this Inter side. But if they decide to, I don't know, Inter has to get the Champions League, and right now Italy is a place where it's very hard to play. We got teams like Lazio, Roma, AC Milan, Napoli and Juventus all trying to get those Champions League spots, so really it is in a moment where you can turn your eye out. But I cannot really predict too much about this one, because Inter are such in a fresh state. They look like a recently new fruit, you know, where they are blossoming, or fruit like a flower. They're blossoming up, but I don't really know what they're gonna be just now. What color is it gonna be, the petals? I do not know. And now guys, I want you to leave me down below, what do you think about this? I think obviously Barcelona are capable of beating every single team in this. Spurs are a good team, but we can beat them. PSV may be intense, but we're gonna get through. And Inter is an incognito right now, but still I think that we are gonna push away. So I feel that this group is hard, but there's no point in crying or anything. I think that Barcelona, if they play to the best of their ability, they could easily beat every single team here. We could beat every single team here. The only one which I think that if we play at 100% and still will be difficult will be Spurs, because I just rate Spurs so highly, I really do. But we have every single thing that we have on our blood. Like, we have everything to win this competition, not only win the group stages. It's just how much do we want it and how much effort we're gonna put into it. So guys, leave me your predictions, your everything in the comment box down below. Leave me your thoughts, and I'll be trying to answer them as much as I can. And like I said, once again, if you want to see my reaction to all of the other groups, you can check it out right now. It's already live on the channel. And if you have enjoyed, drop us a like, leave us a subscribe if you want to see more. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.